It's a Harley Sinister Masquerade. So loot gives your character stats and performance enhancements, really.
Yeah.
Right? So I can put this on my character, and we give you the option of choosing whether or not you want to show it or hide it. In this case, I'll show it. So we can
I don't know if that was a wise choice, man.
Dude, that is awesome.
I like the little frilly collar you got going.
Should I keep Harley's hat or ditch it? Not so much.
I'd say ditch it.
Ditch it?
I don't know, the bonuses are pretty cool though.
So basically, you see here, it's got really good bonuses. I want to keep those. So what we allow you to do is collect these appearances in all the slots that we have items. So I'll go to helmet here. These are all the other ones that I've collected in the past. I can choose to just have my normal one, or I can choose to go back and actually put the Wing Tech visor that I really like on. But lucky me, I still get the benefit from the stats.
Right. Form and function are separate. You get to look how you want to look. Remember when we say the next legend is you, it's up to you too, right? It's about your choices and your customization.
So we learned a little bit about Harley in the fight, but we want to show you even more about her character. So we have some really cool cutscenes by Jim Lee.
Jim Lee, our executive creative director, legendary comic book artist, has made cutscenes to introduce the characters to you.
I got right, Mr. J will get me out just to call him the Joker. But my cousin's no joke. He has a dream of creating a world where everybody's always laughing. A whole world just explode. So maybe I'm crazy. But aren't we all a little crazy? Crazy in love.
Oh, they made up.
So a little bit inside Harley's mind, but remember we're sitting here for two things. We stopped Harley, but what about Boy Wonder?
Alright, we'll go over and grab him, which will complete, our mission here, which was to capture Harley and free the Boy Wonder. As a player, you'll be able to go on lots of adventures like this that involve all the iconic characters, which will then level your character up, and you become more and more powerful, which leads you to the end game.
Right, you save the day, but what happens when you need to save the world? Let's jump to the end of the game and show you what you look like and what you can do. So here again, Night Strike is in the Spectre bat suit. This is a set of armor made by Batman himself. You'll notice you're sporting the bat symbol. You have, through challenge after challenge, episode after episode, through co-op, through player versus player, you've earned the right to wear this suit. You can also see another character there in the Superman suit, the House of L war suit, crafted from the very crystals of the Fortress of Solitude itself. Each of these are super special suits made for your characters based on your accomplishments. Not everybody can get them, and it's going to take real skill and audacity to get there.
I'm elite.
You are elite.
Or they gave it to me for the demo, I don't know.
You're elite. Here we are in the Australian outback, and Star Labs thought it would be a good idea to mine and refine kryptonite. So heroes and villains are after each other, fighting for control of the substance.
Each of these control points have different gimmicks. This one has an EMP charge, which I'm going to, you see all the enemies are down there. I charge the EMP up top, which then blasts all the physics objects and puts them in force fields and clears it out for my team.
Right, so it's not just your own skills, you also have to make tactical choices. Do you want to try for the flag or do you want to go for the EMP? You also have turrets you can turn to your side to try to take.
And they're back. Okay, now we'll get into the fighting.
Alright, get into the fighting. You can see there all different characters being knocked around. And realize the enemy fighting against the character doesn't have an iconic suit yet. They're still earning that, still on their hero's journey. And you can earn those, like we said. Here, this is 8 on 8 for heroes versus villain. There's 16 on 16 for co-op, or for what we call raiding in the MMO world. There's 4 groups, 4-member groups, and 8-member groups. So there's all sorts of different sizes and scales. But remember, this is a living world online. So if you're in Gotham, you're there with thousands of other players at the same time. So there really isn't a limit. Now, we can turn down the volume for us real quick, and we'll field any questions you guys may have. You guys have something you want to ask? No, you're right, seriously?
How many different episodes are there?
There's dozens. dozens, and it's really varies per side, right? So a hero and a villain will have different episodes. They'll share a few, like Amusement Milo is a shared one. So if you went in as a villain, you'd actually be fighting Robin, and you'd be going through fighting cops who've taken over Amusement Mile. But there are some episodes that are only dedicated to your side. More importantly, there's some that are only dedicated to your origin. So like the Scarecrow episode is only for people who are following Batman's line through the game. So it really varies. So you can play not only the hero side and then play a new villain character. Depending on the origin you play, there's different storylines throughout. Other questions? Good questions. Yeah.
How deep is the character customization?
How deep is the character customization?
Pretty neat.
It's pretty crazy. So we actually have it in two parts. There's the look, right, which is your body type. There's 3 different body types per gender, so 6 different body types. There's all of the different skins you can have, rock skin, metallic skin, all of that kind of thing. All different types of facial features and head. You have all sorts of equipable items. Jens, if he actually looks at his inventory right now, can show you that he has a bunch of different items in here, right? And each of those is a separate piece of customization. On top of that, remember, although I've said it a dozen times here, it's really important to emphasize, your weapon, your powers, and your movement types actually are character customization too, because it's how you fight. So it's not only how you look, it's what you do as well that's part of that customization. There's not a predefined class. Instead, you build that out of your own choices.
I can pick and choose what pieces I want out of this suit too, and mix and match from all the other things that I've collected to create my own custom look. I don't have to go with the full-on design fast suit. Mix and match there, take my helmet off so you can see my face.
Swap in other items, whatever you want to do.
About how long does it take for each level up, and about how many different levels are there?
Well, we haven't yet released the total number of levels because we're actually tuning it to the content. So the way we're looking at it is, a lot of times you can say, oh, you have a ton of levels, but how much fun do you have? So what we've done is we've all centered it around the story and the episodic journey. So really what we want you to do is have sort of a Batman to Nightwing to Robin experience going from the top down, right? If you start off, you're more of a Robin character who just found out what's going on. As you progress through the levels and the stories, you become more like Nightwing, more self-dependent, more independent, able to do more things. Then you get all the way to the Batman phase where you're actually part of the JLA, right? You are that cool, you are that famous and that powerful. So what we do is instead wrap all of the episodes, the dozens and dozens of episodes per side, around that framework. So right now, as you can see, this guy's level 12 for the series of the demo, but we're going to really have the content drive the levels, not the other way around.
Okay.
What other questions you guys got?
So what's the one thing, if there was one thing you had to choose that you thought made it better than the other games out there, what would that be?
It has to be the superhero combat. I mean, you go put your hands on it, you'll see what we're talking about, right? A lot of times we get asked the question, is this an MMO? Is this an action game? And we answer, this is DCUO. Really, all of the decisions we've made come down to one thing. Are you going to feel like a real hero or villain? Is it really a shared world where you can just run around and see a huge open city where anything can happen? Yes. Do you have all of the powers that you could want? Yes. Do you have that combat right at your fingertips? Yes. All of those are important, right? Can you get loot? Can you grow, right? But if you say that one thing, when you guys go put your hands on it, the controller or the keyboard, Jens can show you flips between them just as easily. It's immediate, right? It's not waiting. It's not taking turns. And because of that, there's quite a bit of skill involved, right? So you gotta really be a superhero in your own sense of it too.
That is the one thing that probably sits it above other things of its type. But also, I mean, nobody else has Gotham. Nobody else has Metropolis, Batman, Superman, Joker, Lex Luthor. The list goes on and on and on. And these are crafted stories that players will get to partake in against these characters. And it's super deep. It's super fun.
In that regard, you know, we can give you guys the opportunity to see for yourself now. We've got demo stations inside.
Yeah, go play it.
By all means.
Because he was out there fighting right out here at E3, so we have everybody in there jumping.
Just remember, don't gang next to